What's good, family? In this video right here, we're about to be giving a look at the movie Him revealed way too much. Now, this is most likely going to be one of those instances where you have a movie that drops for everyone in the mass majority of people to see, and they reveal a lot of truth right in front of our eyes that no one's able to catch on to. And one of the most iconic movies that did that was Eyes Wide Shut, where it basically exposed all the rituals that the elites do. Now, in this instance, I have no clue what the movie Him is about, but this video right here is by The Truth Is, and it seems as if it has like one of the Wayne bros being a main character, and it got a lot of views. So we're gonna give this video right here a look. Make sure you do follow my Instagram because I'm posting a lot of content over there daily. You know what I'm saying? I just came back from the Dominican Republic for the first time, and that's where you're gonna get to see everything that I did over there. There was a tarantula in the mansion.
Movie Him has been out for about a month now, and it's clear it didn't live up to the hype. Before the movie was released, people saw Jordan Peele's name attached to it and expected another interesting multi-layered movie with a deep message connecting it all. Instead, they got a poorly pasted, poorly executed disaster that failed to meet the expectations of viewers and critics in almost every aspect. This has left Him with a low 31 Rotten Tomato score. Most people simply don't like this movie, with most calling it too nonsensical and hollow to be taken serious. But what if I told you that as poorly as this movie was executed, it still has a very important message encrypted into the plot of the movie that shouldn't go unnoticed? This movie pulls back the curtains and reveals the inner workings of stardom in the NFL, the real price to be the GOAT, and what that price actually looks like. This movie, although not as good, is the new modern day Eyes Wide Shut, as it offers the viewers an inside look at the dark price of glory in sports and every other entertainment industry. As they simply put it, to be the GOAT, what are you willing to sacrifice?
And this film begs the question,
to be a star, what are you willing to sacrifice?
you're willing to sacrifice!
There's a reason most people don't like this movie. It's because it shows them a side they have never seen before of a sport they love so much.
But this is really in the movie? Look like a whole satanic ritual being done within this movie right here. What the heck?
Something they don't completely understand. But today, in this video, I will tell you exactly what the movie Him is really about. Then you will see just how important the message of this movie truly is. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Just how important.
Bro, even down to the way that they have the field goal, or like right next to his head, like coming out like devil horns, I'm able to see this. They ain't looking good.
And the message of this movie truly is. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back. We're talking about who needs to think out. It had already begun receiving negative reviews, as critics had collectively destroyed expectation for the movie with their early critique of it. I agree that after watching this movie, I can confirm it lacks in a lot of places, specifically in the timing and pacing of the film. It doesn't take its time to properly introduce its concepts to the fans before dropping the entire plot on you in the last 15 minutes. It goes from 0 to 100 real quick until it crashes horribly at the end. But even with that being true, the movie still isn't that bad, and in fact, it has a very important message encrypted into its plot. Sadly, most who watch this movie aren't picking up on it, which then makes the movie seem even worse than it is. Now, I wanted to make this video when the movie initially came out in theaters, but I felt that it would be hard to analyze this film on first watch, so I decided to wait until it became available for rent on streaming platforms, and then I rented it. Now, after seeing this movie, I will say that while I wasn't a fan of the excessive violence or the pacing, I still think the movie is decent. But what is truly great about this movie is the message. It had an extremely important message, and I wish they would have better produced the movies so more people would understand what it was trying to say. Like I said earlier, I compare this movie to the modern day Eyes Wide Shut. Obviously, this movie doesn't come close to the quality of Eyes Wide Shut, but just like Eyes Wide Shut, it reveals the dark side of reality in a raw way. Just like Him, Eyes Wide Shut was a movie that most people just didn't really understand when it came out. This is exactly what's going on with Him. People just don't understand the film. Before I explain what the movie is about, let me summarize the movie really quickly. Now again, I want to warn you there will be spoilers ahead. The movie Him is about an athlete named Cameron who grows up admiring a football star named Isaiah White, who is seen as the GOAT. Cameron's father, who was a massive football fan, tells him that one day he will be the next GOAT. He then trains and pushes his son, grooming him to tells him that one day he will be the next GOAT. He then trains and pushes his son, grooming him to be a football superstar. When Cameron gets older, he is looked at as one of the next potential GOATs in football. His future looks bright, and it seems all his hard work is starting to pay off as the league starts showing interest in him. When he starts going through the process of being drafted into the league, things take a dark turn, starting the day before his audition when he was randomly attacked by a man wearing a goat mask. The man hit Cameron over the back of the head, causing him to have a concussion and resulting in brain damage. This forces Cameron to avoid playing during his audition, which he thought destroyed his chances of getting drafted. But luckily for him, his agent Tom managed to get him an opportunity with the NFL team, the Saviors, the same team his idol Isaiah is part of. His agent tells Cameron that he can get him on the team, but he has to agree to train with his idol Isaiah for a week so he can confirm he's the one. Cameron agrees, and he is then driven to Isaiah's compound. The first thing he encounters is a group of superfans who lose their minds when they realize Cameron is not Isaiah. Cameron then meets his idol and begins his training, impressing Isaiah quickly. After practice, Cameron gets into an ice bath while Isaiah is having his blood drawn, and Cameron asks why is he doing that, with Isaiah telling him he likes to store his blood when it's at its peak, so he can use it for a later game. He then offers Cameron some of his blood, but he refuses. But moments later, as one of the men working for Isaiah is walking out, he injected Cameron with Isaiah's blood. This is where things begin to get weird. The next day, Cameron goes to practice, and Isaiah takes things to a dark place. He makes one of the athletes who's training with them stand in front of a throwing machine. Isaiah then makes Cameron race against a 2-second clock. Every time he fails to beat the clock, Isaiah then releases a ball that hits the athlete in the face. He does this until Cameron succeeds. Sometime after this, Cameron is introduced to Isaiah's wife, Elsie, who invites him to go party with her. After partying, Cameron falls asleep, and the next day, he's taken to a desert to shoot guns with Isaiah. While at the desert, Isaiah makes Cameron an interesting offer. He tells him that if he manages to shoot a dummy they had set up, he would give him anything he wants. But Cameron refuses his proposal as he tells him he doesn't want any handouts. This is a very important scene, and we will come back to this later, so make sure you watch this video to the end. The next day, Cameron is getting interviewed at Isaiah's compound, and he talks about how his father died shortly after he told him he didn't want to be a football player anymore. After the interview, Isaiah's wife invites Cameron to a party, telling him that she managed to get him a deal with the owner of the Saviors, but they want to meet him at this party first. Cameron agrees and is taken over there with Elsie. Before Elsie brings him in, Cameron questions Elsie about the location since it seems sketchy. Elsie tells him they use these discreet locations because they don't want people to know about their strange rituals. When Cameron walks into the club, one of Isaiah's employees tried to warn Cameron about what's going to happen, warning him to run while he still can. Cameron doesn't understand and continues on. He then meets up with his agent, who introduces him to the team's owner. He then sits on a table with all of them, where his agent asked him if he's ready to take the next step, with Cameron nodding yes. He is then given wine to drink that seems to be infused with Isaiah's blood. When he drinks it, Isaiah wakes up on cue, knowing that he had drunk his blood. After drinking the wine, Cameron starts partying as Elsie is seen killing and sacrificing the man that tried to warn him. Cameron then walks into a room and finds a goat mask similar to the one the person who attacked him was wearing at the beginning of the movie. When he lifts the mask up, he finds the decapitated head of the man who tried to warn him. The next day, Cameron wakes up in an ice bath hooked up to an IV of Isaiah's blood. He is lying down being scanned by a machine, while on top of this symbol that we will get into more later. Cameron then removes the IV and goes looking for Isaiah, where he finds him inside of the theater room. Once inside the
all this is just weird to say the least, but I'm still waiting for all of it to come together.
Theater room, the door shuts behind him, and as you can see, the symbol that's on the door was the same symbol that was on the floor in the last scene. While in the room, Isaiah finally tells Cameron what has been going on, telling him why he has been injecting him with his blood and why he was brought out there to begin with. Isaiah reveals that the GOAT isn't just a really good player. The GOAT is chosen by the elite, and there can only be one at a time, telling Cameron that he was chosen after his father made a deal with the owner of the team long ago. Cameron's father was in the military and was somehow connected to the league's owner. He offered his son to be the next GOAT and was grooming him for the league. Isaiah tells Cameron they had been grooming him his entire life, telling him they have been giving him his blood because it's a part of the GOAT ritual, explaining that every GOAT gets blood infusions from the previous GOAT before them. This is how they keep the spirit of the GOAT alive. Those who they choose to receive the GOAT blood become supernaturally talented at the sport. Isaiah then tells Cameron that for him to become the GOAT and take his place, he has to kill him first. Cameron and Isaiah start fighting, and Cameron eventually gets the upper hand and takes out Isaiah. Cameron then walks out of the theater through a tunnel that leads him to a field where the team owners are waiting with Elsie, who is holding his NFL contract. He is told to sign the contract to receive the gift, but Cameron instead refuses. This is when his agent Tom tells him that everything was done for this moment, his father's death and his attack by the guy wearing the goat suit. It was all done so that the Savior team would be the only team who could draft him. After hearing this, Cameron refuses to sign the contract, and then the team owners tell him if he doesn't sign, they will kill his family. But Cameron refuses and begins killing all of the team owners there instead. His agent Tom tries to escape, but ends up being dragged by a demonic force that was supposed to possess Cameron after signing the deal, and kills him because Cameron refused to sign. And that's how the movie ends. No explanation or anything. But there is so much jam-packed into this movie that we have to fully unpack. As you can see, the movie isn't just about football, but about the price to be the GOAT in football. As the movie reveals, you can't just become the GOAT by being good. You have to be chosen by the elite, who then groom you and use rituals to make you into the GOAT. It tells us about the secret societies that run the NFL and all pro sports, how they are the ones who choose who will be the GOAT, and how it's all connected to the spiritual world and occult practices. They also reveal that football is just the modern day gladiator games, with the football players being the new gladiators who risk their lives to entertain and distract the people. In the movie, the GOAT is directly connected to the term in alchemy called the Great Work. Alchemy is an ancient spiritual practice that is at the foundation of many secret society teachings. Alchemy is a practice done by people that believe it helps them transform themselves from basic people into transcended human gods. In the movie, the term GOAT refers to a player going through the transformation from a good player to the GOAT player. The GOAT represents completing the great work. The entire movie was about this great work ritual. The great work is a ritual that takes 7 steps to complete. The movie happens over the course of 7 days, with all 7 days being a part of the ritual. In alchemy, Baphomet is a representation of the great work. In the movie, the GOAT is a deity, a demonic force that possesses the player who has the GOAT blood. That's why they were infusing Cameron with Isaiah's blood, or why the man wearing the goat mask attacked him from behind. To make this even clearer, they show the symbol of the great work many times throughout the film. The symbol of the great work is this symbol here, a circle within a square within a triangle within a larger circle. When Cameron is sitting in the ice bath receiving Isaiah's blood transfer, he was sitting over the symbol of the great work. Also, when Cameron walks into Isaiah's theater room, the symbol of the great work is once again shown on the door, indicating this was all about alchemy and the great work ritual. From the beginning of the movie, they jam-packed it with references that we need to go over. The most important message was obviously at the end of the movie, where they wanted Cameron to sign the contract and get possessed by demonic spirits in the middle of the pentagram. When Cameron walks out of the theater after killing Isaiah, you can see he walks over a checkered board floor. The same checkered board floor he walks over when he's invited by Elsie to attend the party the day before. This is in reference to the Masonic checkered board floor, a prominent symbol used by Freemasons that could be found at every Masonic lodge. It's clear the movie was implying that the team's owners were a part of the Freemasons. This wouldn't be far-fetched either, because I have exposed football's connections to Masonry countless times. Walter Camp is considered the father of American football. He is credited with laying down the foundation of what went on to become American football. Walter Camp was a part of the secret society, the Skull and Bones, a secret society created by Freemasons that operates at Yale University. The Freemasons have been behind football since its inception. It's supposed to represent the new gladiator games that is now being used by the elite to distract the masses and keep them occupied. This scene shows us how the sport of football is deeply rooted in the occult. In this scene, they also show a symbol that looks awfully like the Masonic square and compasses inside of the secret club the elite were partying in. From the ritualistic cheering and the disturbing idol worship and even the idolization of violence, they were showing us is all connected to the occult. The fact that they admit Cameron was chosen as a child shows us how these organizations choose their stars since they're young, grooming them throughout their lives to turn them into their perfect puppet. The last scene was meant to represent Cameron's initiation into the Freemasons that took place after his death and rebirth ritual, how he had to sell his soul to make it big and allow himself to be used by demonic spirits. The scene right before the contract scene was Cameron fighting Isaiah to the death. This scene was meant to represent 2 things. 1, comparing the football players to gladiators who fight to the death for the entertainment of the masses. And 2, to show Cameron's death and rebirth ritual. In the great work, one of the steps is the death and rebirth, when the person kills their old self to be reborn as their new great self. When Cameron killed Isaiah, he was reborn. That's why in the very next scene, he is shown walking through the checkerboard floor covered in blood. This was representing his death and rebirth after completing the great work, as when we're born in blood. Another important scene that ties this all to selling your soul to the devil is when Isaiah takes Cameron to the desert to shoot guns. While he was there, Isaiah offered Cameron to sell his soul for the world. Just like in the Bible when Satan offered Jesus the world if he bowed down and worshipped him, Isaiah offered Cameron the world if he did as he said. But Cameron refused the offer, just like Jesus refused Satan's. Another important thing they revealed was how the elite sent a woman to honeypot Cameron. In the movie, Isaiah's wife Elsie is the honeypot handler who is sent in to groom Cameron. She is used to bring him in and get him to sign. As even after Cameron had everything he wanted in front of him, he still chose to deny the deal and keep his soul. I believe this message is truly important, and I'm surprised those behind this movie even put this message in there. But this movie obviously shows this in a satanic way, with all the violence and blood. But at least Cameron refused the deal and walked away with his soul. Cameron did the right thing, and we know many won't do the right thing when it comes to a situation like this. Many would choose to have the world instead of their soul, and we see this every day. Cameron refused to give up his soul to become the GOAT. Now in a way, I felt like those behind this movie were hiding the truth in plain sight. This movie was basically a confession, which makes me believe that the movie was purposely trashed by critics and paced wrongly by the studios who edited on purpose to ensure the movie wouldn't be received positively. While the movie was executed poorly, the message is still loud and clear. If you want to be the GOAT, you have to pay a dark price. A price that Cameron learned isn't worth it. Well, I'm gonna end this one here. I want to thank you all for watching, and
Hey family, comment down below what y'all think about this right here. I mean, it aligns with a lot of the videos that we make on this channel when it comes to the celebrities, the high profile celebrities, and the actors, rappers. All of them pay a certain price, whether it's the contract that they sign, giving up their rights, or even taking people out. What is the sacrifice that you're willing to make? And that was the exact mantra of this entire movie. What was the sacrifice that you're willing to make? And this dude ended up literally sacrificing someone. So comment down below your thoughts, smash the like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Peace.